That was good. I'm glad we
That's so
did
weird.
that. Okay, I'm immediately.
L's
into
just
L's.
classic. I
It's
think if
so
you play
much.
Hangman, L's one of the ones where it's like they give it to you
Yeah.
Yeah.
even before you guess it and
Chuck
stuff.
an E up there.
Oh, that's right.
I think
It's a lot.
I'm in the ones that are like when you play Wheel of Fortune at the end, they give you a couple of them. You know what I mean? But not vowels. But they give you like
L is a historic
I think L is one of
freebie.
them. S. I think they give you S.
Famous freebie letter.
It's common.
Lobster man, one whose business is lobstering, and then above that, lobstering, the activity or business of catching lobsters.
Capturing
Yeah,
lobsters.
exactly.
I'm a lobster man.
Lobscouse, lobscouse.
A lobscouse?
Lobscouse, yeah. What's that?
What is a lobscouse?
It's a sailor's
It
dish.
just hopped out to me.
Lobscouse is a sailor's dish. It's made of lobster and scouse.
Oh,
Nice.
crazy.
Nice.
Interesting.
Scouse is like meat or something? Some other meats?
Do you guys know about the lobectomy?
Is it like a lobotomy?
Is it
Except
getting
you're
a
taking
lobe-
it out. You're taking out part of your brain.
Lobe removal.
It's the removal of lobes of an
Yeah.
organ or a gland. Yeah.
Any
Any
organ has
lobes.
earlobes.
Any
Yeah,
lobes.
that's the only
Ears.
lobe I
Yeah.
know.
The body is
Earlobe is the only
Lobed.
lobe I'm aware
the body
of.
is a series of lobes.
Occipital. Parietal.
Temporal.
Those seem good.
Temporal.
Ear.
Ear.
Whoa.
Lisa.
Your guttural lobe.
Lisa was so good.
Doesn't make it not good. It's all a vibe.
I only hear what I want to do.
Okay, now I get why you now I get why you wanted to stay on Lisa Loeb for a bit.
Astros just got Yusei Kikuchi, and whenever he strikes someone out, they
They
play
play
just
that?
that part where it goes,
Oh.
Yusei.
That's funny.
That's his name.
I want to hear some more singing.
I know everyone
People
knows
don't
this
sing on
word.
podcasts enough.
Luga.
Maybe for a reason.
This is a word I shouldn't know how to pronounce because I feel like you guys are gonna lugubrious. Lugubrious.
Lugubrious.
There we go. I knew he would
Lugubrious
know to
means
say
you're
it really
pissed off
quickly.
all the time, right?
Lugubrious.
No, not even.
Prone
No.
to violence.
No.
No, rich.
Exaggerated or affectedly mournful. So it's more brooding. It's in the vein of
lugubrious.
brooding or, you know,
You're like,
emo.
Okay.
It's like an emo word.
Okay.
give us another
That's
good
a good
one.
one. Lubavitcher.
What does that mean?
This is a member of a Hasidic sect founded by. Oh, this is just.
That's
a word.
that guy's name, yeah.
Yeah.
If
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
just a guy's name,
If
we're
it's I
probably-
understand now that there are capital letters, which imply that it's. Proper name.
Proper nouns.
Yeah, I
They're
get
pretty
proper
short.
names.
You should be able to kind of...
Lafamore, Lafa.
Are you reading the word before you look at the definition? Be honest.
No, dude, he's going full.
I'm jumping
He's going
in.
just fully into it. I respect it. Both feet first.
What is it? What is Lafamore?
A circular or horseshoe-shaped organ about the mouth, especially of a brachiopod or birozone that bears tentacles and functions, especially in food getting.
Like a bug organ. Brachiopods
I
are.
don't know.
No,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Something.
Squids.
It's a mouth of something, yeah.
It's a.
All right.
Great
It's a
word.
mouth organ.
That'll come up.
Letters.
That'll come up.
Definitely come up in
I
conversation.
already forgot.
Will Shorts will definitely be using that.
Don't even. We don't speak his name. In this house, we don't
He
speak
must
his
not be
name.
He
named.
must not be named Will Shorts.
We don't speak his name in this house. We can go record somewhere else. If you want to fucking talk about.
You're
Will
out of the
Shorts
L's? You're out of the L's now?
I'm
You're
back
off
in
the
L's
reservation?
now. I'm-
Okay.
He's exploring.
I'm moving around. I'm really figuring it out. Lapillus. This is kind of cool.
Annoying.
It's a is a
Lapillus.
body part of like a.
Oh, is it a
plant.
noun?
It's
Yeah.
like a plant part.
It is a part. It's a small stony or glassy fragment of lava ejected in a volcanic eruption.
Nice.
So it's a pretty cool word.
Lapillus.
Lapillus.
I might name my daughter Lapillus.
That is kind of a beautiful
Lapras
word.
is a Pokemon.
Lapras
Yeah.
is indeed a Pokemon. Very strong.
Sounds like the name of like a Steven Universe character.
Hydro cannon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Say goodnight.
Lancet. Do you guys know a lancet?
Is it like a Like a lance?
It's close to it. It's kind of like a lance.
Is it
A
sharp?
lancet
It's
is
sharp, but it's a surgical instrument, so it's like a sharp pointed little
Like a
surgery.
lance. It's a small lance.
lancet.
That makes sense. Lancet.
It's a lancet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I knew that.
A couple of etymologists.
I knew lancet.
Resident etymologist.
Do you know lambent?
Lambda? It's a Greek letter.
Lambent.
Lambit.
Lambent.
Lambit.
Oh,
That's a part of like a barrel.
It's a piece of meat.
Part of a barrel.
That's a good guess.
It's a meat section.
Playing lightly on or over a surface, softly bright or radiant, marked by lightness or brilliance, especially in expression.
Lambent.
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 You look lambent.
Yeah.
The lambent rays.
She
of
looked
sunshine.
lambent on her wedding day. Something.
She looked lambent on her wedding day.
It's an adjective?
I'm trying to. It is an adjective. Yeah.
Okay.
The lambent rays bathing the oak in sunshine.
There you
The
go.
oak would be lambent.
There's
with the
lambently
rays.
as well, which is an adverb.
Yeah.
You can be lambently. Yeah.
The
you
light can shine
lambently. Yeah. Exactly. Oh, that's good.
That's good.
good.
Yeah,
Learning
are there
a lot.
any notes on that? On the lambent? Or that's pretty much
No, that's kind of the whole,
Usage?
that's
whole lambent.
Country
the whole
origin?
thing.
nice.
Nothing else going on there with lambent.
Lambent.
Oh shit, we're in the fucking H's now.
Yeah, tell me if I'm too crazy when I jump
People,
letters
we
all
are
the time.
approaching the H's.
I mean, one last L.
One last L.
Yeah, last
Okay,
L.
okay.
Good L.
Fine. That was a
good
good
L.
L. Find a good L.
Yeah, lambent is good. And that's gonna come up.
Laughter. What's the definition of laughter?
Let's see where we're at with a new one. All these words I know. I keep
Yeah,
looking for it
exactly.
and I'm
We're
like,
so good. We're so
I know it's
good.
way too many words. Like, I wish I knew less words because then I would be fascinated by all the ones that I don't. Like,
But it's all pretty much old.
But it's all
news.
words
fuck
I
is
know,
that
like
word?
loofah. That's lupus erythematosus.
Let
I
him
don't want
look,
to
let him look.
You don't want a science one. Those
Lute.
ones are so-
I'm seeing a picture of a lute.
Yeah.
You're an
That is a
LU,
lute.
so
It's
You're
kind
running
a
out of room
weird
here.
space. Yeah.
you're right. This is the end of the L's. If I'm being lute is pretty near the end.
Yeah, lymphide's not going to be better.
Yeah, lymph. All the lymph stuff.
What the hell is a lymph? I would be interested to know what a lymph
It's
actually is.
produces nephrons.
All right. Hey, I'm calling off the lymph definition request.
Live bearer.
Disregard request.
Lime bearer.
Live bearer. Live bearer.
Live bearer.
Live bearer.
Live bearer?
It's a
Live bearer.
live
Whatever
bearer.
it is, yeah.
What is it?
It's a fish that brings forth living young rather than eggs. So any fish that
Right.
doesn't do eggs,
Like
but
live
births them.
birther. Yeah.
Yeah, but for fish, and it's from
Something like a
1934.
human. Yeah.
Yeah.
What is this image of this weird?
Yeah.
crab?
Pretty much all the ones that are about fish or their mouth or giving birth, unfortunately, are uninteresting.
Yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame, really.
I have really bad news.
Not a fish mouth.
It's like most of them are. It's just not that. I'm not finding any of the
You're
juicy ones.
so well
now.
versed in every other word except the words that are related to
All these other ones
fish
just make
orifices
sense.
and
Most of these are.
Fish holes.
limpet, Mr. Limpet.
Look at all the ones that have leg in them.
Mr.
There's so
Limpet.
many. So many. Yeah, it's all like one word and then a hyphen and then a like
Yeah.
leaf bud, leaf lard, leaflet, leaf
Leaf
mold.
lard.
You want to know what leaf lard is?
I'm-
High quality lard made from leaf. Isn't that interesting? All of them are just hyphenated things. There's no like original words in the L
Quality
section.
lard.
It's got to be high quality.
There's actually a lot of fat in these leaves we haven't harnessed.
That's high quality leaf lard. I paid top dollar for this. Do you know how many rupees this cost me?
Okay, lap it.
Lap it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a piece of a hat.
A lapid is a valuable stone.
A fold or flap on a garment or headdress. A
Oh,
flap.
the lappet.
So you're kind of right. It is kind of part of a hat. It's part of a
Conrad
headdress.
was right.
Good job. How'd you know that one?
I don't know. It reminded me of lapel.
Conrad's very sartorial.
Yeah.
I'm wearing a 3-piece suit right now. I have a pocket watch and a
That's cool.
pocket square.
You have like a slum dog.
I have a pocket knife.
All right, we're changing gears.
That's
That was
it.
the last one.
That's been
That's
the
all we
dictionary.
have.
That was the
portion.
dictionary. We'll probably come back. You keep it. You know.
You're the
If
dictionary.
someone needs it.
I'm
you
the
know,
phone.
gotta
You're the
be-
dictionary.
You have the phone. Yeah.
He's the book.
Got
We're
it,
all the
got it,
book,
got it,
We're all
got
the
it.
and
book.
you are the book.
Conrad, you want to try this one?
Okay.
Try this page. We're in the Joseph Campbell Companion. Joseph Campbell.
We all know who that guy
He's
is.
a comparative mythologist.
There is a Japanese saying I recall once having heard of the 5 stages of a man's growth. At 10, an animal. At 20, a lunatic. At 30, a failure. At 40, a fraud. At 50, a criminal. And at 60, I would add, since by that time one will have gone through all this, one begins advising one's friends. And at 70, realizing that everything said has been misunderstood, one keeps quiet and is taken for a sage. At 80,
Joe.
then said Confucius, I knew my ground and stood firm.
Oh, this is pro Joe. This is
Vote
pro
Joe.
Joe. This is
Yeah.
vote
Write
Joe.
his
I'm
ass
so mad.
in. Write him in.
We need an even older president.
We need the oldest man who
Next
never
year.
talks. And he sits on a really big
Yeah.
fucking chair and never gets
smart.
up. Yeah. He's
Wow.
really smart.
He's learned a lot. He's learned to keep his mouth shut.
Always reading.
Yeah. Okay.
Jung speaks of the curve of a lifetime being divided in half. The first half is the time of relationships, and the second half is the time of finding the sense of life within. Or, as the Hindus say, following the marga, the path, the footsteps of the human experience you've had to your own inward life. And then, total disengagement. Going through the last passage without anxiety, without fear.
Sounds awesome.
You go to your death singing.
Yeah, for sure.
As a physician, I am convinced. This is a quote from Jung. This is a quote from Jung. As a physician, I am convinced that it is hygienic to discover in death a goal towards which one can strive, and that shrinking away from it is something unhealthy and abnormal, which robs the second half of life of its purpose.
Nice. It's going.
It's important to know how old you are in spiritual development, where you are on this path. The function of initiations is to commit one's whole psychological pitch to the requirements of a particular stage in life. The big initiation is when one has to leave the psychology of childhood behind, the death of the infantile ego, which is dependent and obedient, and the birth of the self-reliant adult participating in the society. The first quarter of life is that of student, and the ideal there is obedience, comeliness of appearance, and sweetness of conduct, according to Dante.
Yeah.
And this would mean conforming generally to the patterns required by the society.
Love sweetness of conduct. A lot of the kids these days missing sweetness of conduct.
Don't even get me started about comeliness of appearance. This would mean conforming generally to the patterns required by the society. This interval is what Nietzsche calls. This is what Nietzsche calls the period of the camel. For the camel, the camel gets down on his knees. You guys can snap. Feel free to snap, and asks to have a load put on him. Zane, you know a thing or two about that.
Thank you.
The second quarter is that of householder. That is to say, you have moved into the responsibilities of adult life. In the Indian system, your responsibilities are dictated in terms of the Dharma, the law of your social order. In our society, you voluntarily choose your responsibilities. And it is through the assumption of those responsibilities, whatever they may be, that you achieve your position, name, and fame in the world. Making such choices involves the development of the ego function, the function of the independent evaluation, and your assumption of tasks and positions is relevant to your own value determinations. This period is the age of the dragon, on whose every scale are emblazoned the words, "Thou shalt." Midlife is typically the period not of achievement but of realization. And it should be the period.
Yeah, Mom.
Yeah.
I've got some stuff you could read and it would actually explain a lot. The period of not of achievement but of realization. It should be the period of fulfillment. In Nietzsche's stages, when the camel is well loaded, it gets to its feet and goes out into the desert and turns into a lion.
Oh.
That's right. The lion's job is to kill the dragon named Thou Shalt.
Oh.
When it has been killed by the lion of self-discovery, all the energy that has been caught up in the dragon is now yours.
Wow.
Who knew mental health could be so metal?
Badass.
Yeah.
Yes. People in midlife who are still expecting benefits from being good or punishments from being bad are delayed. Their infantile egos are still operating in midlife, and this is not appropriate.
Yep.
When you come into Jung's second stage, the last
Jeff.
half of life, the quest is for the import of Om that you've heard in the heart chakra, so that it will become the forming and structuring energy of your life, without care for achievement, without care for prestige.
Wow.
Is that?
Is that the end?
I mean, it's like a good transition point. I think it's part of the same.
No, yeah, that's the end. Yeah.
Yeah.
I really thought when you were doing the thing where it was like, and when you're 15, and when you're 20, you're a liar, and when you're 30, you're a thief, and when you're 40, you're a criminal, and when you're 50, you got away with it. I thought it was gonna go into I thought it was gonna go into like a really cheesy sort of like Hallmark card direction.
Yeah, I was waiting for
Confucius
that too.
does that sometimes.
But at 80, you become tough as hell.
Yeah, his thing was just like at 80.
At 80, you're
just,
really
like,
cool. And your
all-
grandkids should be nice to
You're
you.
self-realized.
I can't wait to be 80.
That's a cool thing to say if you're
But I learned a lot from
70.
that.
It's a cool
Yeah, I was
thing to
thinking
say.
about how all the different people are being, how they treat old people.
Yeah, because they're still in the camel. They're like...
Right.
still
Oh,
in
the camel's crazy,
They're
yeah.
still in the camel phase, and they need to become lions and kill the dragon. That was nuts.
Right.
So, like, our
You
infant...
gotta kill the dragon.
We live under
Right,
a dragon
kill the
named
dragon.
with scales that say "Thou shalt,"
Right.
Yeah.
and that's what controls our lives. That's not. But then it's like, you don't want to. You shouldn't want to be good. What was that? Maybe it's whatever.
I don't know.
Morality is
You'll get it once you're 80, probably.
probably.
I think it's a thing where you kind of,
Yeah.
you don't know about it until you've lived it.
I'm barely.
But speaking of experience, I also required this book recently.
Speaking of guys who are old.
100 years, 100 stories. George Burns.
Yeah. The oldest man to ever
Yeah,
do comedy.
the incredible George Burns celebrates his 100th birthday with a priceless gift to his fans, a collection of the stories that have made him one of America's national treasures. So,
And
yeah.
it's signed.
I mean, just from the person who, you know. It's not signed by
Seems
George
nice.
Burns.
I know it's not signed by George Burns, but what does it say?
It's to Dad,
Oh.
with which love and appreciation, with some, yeah.
That's cool.
On your 80th birthday, April 1996.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, this is like when George Burns turned 100 in 1996, because we looked up.
Yeah, we looked that up.
He was born. So I got Zane to. He did a couple of the.
They're just
Okay.
bits.
They're like stories.
Little
There's 100 stories.
He does a lot of name dropping from what I saw.
This is 19,
He's gonna
yeah,
name
yeah.
drop a lot of. He's gonna be like Clark Gable. He's gonna mention.
When I was 17, I started running around with a girl named Jean DeFore, who I thought was the greatest thing since ketchup. And you didn't have to hit her on the bottom to get her started. Jean DeFore was 6 years older than I was, and believe me, nobody would mistake her for Mary Poppins. At that time, if a girl wore a bit of rouge, she was considered fast and loose. Well, Jean not only used rouge, she wore beaded eyelashes and lipstick. And to top it all off, she penciled in a black beauty mark on her cheek.
Oh.
All she needed was a red lantern hanging around her neck. Jean may have been 23 when she had all that makeup on, but she looked more like 30. But I was proud that she'd go out with a 17-year-old kid that I couldn't wait to take her home to meet my mother. So one Sunday afternoon, I did just that. As soon as we got in the door, I said, "Mama, I want you to meet my sweetheart, Jean DeFore." My mother was all smiles. "Sit down, Jean," she said, indicating a chair. "Make yourself at home." Well, we all got comfortable, and in a friendly manner, my mother asked Jean if she was Jewish. Jean said she wasn't, and then my mother inquired, "Do you understand Yiddish?" Again, Jean said no. Turning to me, and still smiling sweetly, my mother said in Yiddish, "Is this tramp planning to adopt you?" Then, looking directly at Jean, while speaking in her most motherly tone, she said, I just told my son what a charming girl you are.
Nice.
Nice.
But yeah, so she doesn't speak Yiddish, so you can shit talk her in Yiddish. Alright, Zane's gonna go.
Yeah, that's a good one. It is pretty much just, they are really long jokes. They're
These are jokes.
It's a story,
but
though.
they're stories. But they are real, too, and they happened.
You don't have to hit the
He
table.
really met Jean DeFore.
You don't have to hit the table.
He met Jean DeFore.
I believe that.
Do you
God
think
damn
Jean
it.
DeFore's fake?
No.
No, I would never. I would never.
God damn.
Alright, I wanted to read this one in the back.
Okay, there was one about Vincent Price that I read at the store when I bought it, and I was like, these are good.
Yeah.
How much did the book cost?
$1.
That's great.
We love that.
But yeah, if it was paperback, it would have been 50 cents, but it's a hardback, so I had to splurge.
Okay.
George Baines.
This story involves a big comedian who for many years had one of the most popular radio shows on radio. In person, he was very funny. He was very fast on the uptake because I, like many of us here in Hollywood, know that he was also an incurable womanizer, and I won't reveal his name. The tabloids would, but I have higher standards. I'll just tell you this weekly half-hour show.
Very mild accent.
It's soft. It's just like a soft.
That's his
I can't
Arabic.
do anything.
That's sort of his Arabic.
That's my Arabic accent.
accent coming out.
I'll just tell you that his weekly half-hour show took place in a New York tavern.
We all know who it is.
Yeah,
We
know
can
who
all
it is.
tell.
Anyway, this comedian got married to a very lovely lady, and the newlyweds immediately went on a honeymoon cruise.
The honeymooners.
And right away, the first night out, he wound up in a cabin of another woman. After a few hours, the wife went looking for him, and sure enough, she bumped into him just as he was coming out of the other woman's cabin. And without batting an eye, he said to her, I forgot to tell you, I'm also a jewel thief. Great joke.
I forgot to tell
Hey,
you.
and hey, fuck you.
Hey,
do you want Conrad?
buddy.
Can you do
No,
it?
y'all got it. Y'all got this.
I'll do one. You need to do one.
You gotta do at least one.
I got. I'm working on this
Right,
Rubik's
yeah,
cube.
yeah.
I got this Rubik's cube world record.
All right. When I made one of my early movies, we had a young actor with us who drove the director crazy. He was a method actor, and he needed a motivation for everything he did. He wouldn't move unless he knew why he was moving. There was this one scene where he had to go to the bathroom. He asked the director why he was going to the bathroom. The director said, for the same reason everybody goes to the bathroom. The actor said, we better not do that scene because it won't be believable. I don't have to go to the bathroom. The director stared at him. Pretend you had breakfast and then go to the bathroom. The actor said, should I pretend I had a big breakfast or a small breakfast? After a long pause, the director said, what difference would that make? He said, I want to know how long to stay in the bathroom. The director said, forget the bathroom, you won't be able to get in. He said, why not? The director said, because the actor who's taking your place will be in there. That was the end of the method actor. From then on, I didn't take any chances. Whenever the director looked at me, I went to the bathroom.
That first part of the story is just an I think you should leave sketch.
Hollywood.
Right.
For the most part.
Well, that's pretty. That's
Pretty much.
showbiz, baby. That's what you know.
Vaudeville.
Pretend you had breakfast.
How about you pretend to take a shit?
I want to know how long I need to stay in the bathroom.
How long do I gotta pretend like I'm taking a shit? I gotta take a real shit to know what that's like.
All right. Okay. All right. You guys talk me into it.
Yeah, dude.
I'll do one.
Do two.
You want me to?
There's two in there.
Or you want me to do two?
Do two.
There's
Close
two
one.
in there.
All right. What does he sound like?
You can do any.
He smokes cigars.
I don't know what he sounds
He's
like.
an
trying to
old
remember.
man who smokes cigars.
I saw Oh God. I'm trying to remember his voice.
He talks
from
like
Oh
this.
God.
Hey, it's me, George.
I'm God.
Even lower.
So help me.
Conrad, your voice isn't low enough to do his voice.
I'm Judge. I'm
No, do
George Bird.
His voice is like this.
You like
Hey, it's
this?
me. Gracie.
Yeah.
Gracie's me, George.
Gracie.
George.
Gracie.
It's warm.
Just do a different accent, dude.
Gracie.
Like any.
Warm.
God.
I'm trying to
Just
do
kidding.
more.
Yeah, I don't know.
Joey Lewis was one of our greatest nightclub performers.
Who?
Joey Lewis. Joe
E. Lewis.
Lewis.
I'm sorry. Who is that, Mr. Burns?
He's one of our greatest nightclub performers.
Still is.
He was also one of show business's biggest gamblers. One night I was standing with him at the crap table at the El Rancho Hotel where he was working, and I'm from New York now.
I'm from New York now.
And I watched him. I watched him lose thousands of dollars in a few minutes. Then, fuck it. Then, when he told the pit boss to put 5 G's on the hard 10, I had to open my mouth. I said, Joe, you can't risk $5,000 on one bet. Joe E. Lewis, you can't risk $5,000 on one bet. He said, I can't. I just did. Yeah. I said, Joe, it's crazy. You're throwing away everything you make. You just have to start saving for a rainy day. Oh, sure. He said,
it don't rain in Las Vegas.
I'll save and save and save. And with my luck, it won't rain, and I'll be stuck with all that money.
That's the end?
That's the end.
Yeah. That he's going to save and save and save.
Nice.
And then, with his luck, it won't rain.
Yeah.
And he'll be stuck with all the money.
Hit that other one.
It's a good one. That was a nice little short one. Let's go.
Say the number.
51.
Okay.
Sorry, the last one was 61.
Nice.
51. Story 51. There was a little agent named Charlie Gold, long gone now, who had a tiny office outside fashionable Beverly Hills.
Oh, I bet you live in fashionable Beverly Hills.
I was born and raised in fashionable Beverly Hills.
One day he went to a Dodger baseball game. Not a Dodger football game. Not to be confused.
That's just how they talk. They do say that.
A Dodger baseball
We went to a Met game.
I went
to a Met baseball game.
I went to a Met baseball game.
But he says he probably wouldn't say that in conversation, but when you do the joke, you have to say the team.
True.
Just to clue him in.
Went to a Dodger baseball game.
Give him some time to take in.
I mean, a Dodgers game, yeah. Dodgers game or a baseball game, and it's fine.
But Dodger baseball game, you get to say more
Dodger,
stuff.
not the Dodgers.
Right, exactly. Dodger baseball game.
Dodger baseball game. And by chance found himself seated next to Clark Gable.
There it is.
Fuck.
During the game, they started to talk.
The big G?
Yeah.
The big CG?
CG, none other.
The Gabler?
Larry the Gable guy?
The Gabler?
The Gable guy?
You really wanted to double down on the Gable guy.
The Gable guy is good. I didn't really catch
The
it.
Gable guy?
I didn't catch it the
Gable
first
guy.
time, yeah.
What is that?
Opportunity.
What did I tell
Forget
you?
about
Airplane mode.
Forget about it.
It's
You heard
simple.
nothing.
It's a little icon on your airplane.
Ooh, I meant to put.
looks
keep
like
that,
an airplane
I
on your
meant to
phone.
keep that in my ass.
You tap it.
Shit, guys. Oh, you heard that vibration coming.
Yeah, your love ends. You left your love ends on the table.
Shoot.
Shit. All right, so he's sitting next to Clark Gable. During the game, they started to talk, and before long, they were getting along famously. At that time, Clark happened to be thinking.
He's Clark Gable. He gets along famously with everybody. He's famous.
At that time, Clark happened to be thinking about changing agents. So when...
This is really a strain on my throat.
No, when I did it with the voice the whole time at the end, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
But his voice is that he has, like,
we're too young to be
throat
talking.
cancer.
We're
It's
too
his voice.
young to be talking like that. We're just kids.
That's why I did a subtle one. That's why I did a subtle one. No other reason.
At that time, Clark happened to be thinking about changing agents. So when
Right.
Charlie mentioned that he was an agent,
Charlie Gold.
Clark said to him, "Charlie Gold, why don't I drop over to your office tomorrow and we'll have a talk?" That was pretty exciting to Charlie, except for the thought of Clark seeing his crummy little office.
Oh, right.
So he immediately said, "Clark, why should you bother? I'd be glad to come to your house." But Clark insisted on going to Charlie's office, and they set the time. When Clark arrived, he took a long look at the office and at the little old secretary sitting at the little old desk that Charlie shared with her.
Whoa.
Then sitting in the only extra chair, he said, "You know, Charlie, I kind of like this office. Plain, simple, nothing ostentatious. I like the way we seem to interact, and I think we'd make a good team.
Wow.
Tell me, Are you Jewish?
This happens
here's
in
the
every
catch.
story.
Here's the catch. Yeah.
Charlie hesitated for a moment and then said, "Not necessarily."
That's the one I read.
George, you've done it again.
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
That was a good one.
It's so good.
Yeah.
All right,
Coded.
man. Should we move to another?
I mean, you liked doing it. You could do
That was the
another
one I saw that I liked.
Oh
I
shit!
read
He
that
talks
whole
about
one
W.C.
before.
Fields in this one.
Oh yeah, I read that one.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
that was good.
One of the really great funny men of the 20th century was W.C. Fields. He had a funny face and voice to match, and he kept Broadway and motion picture audiences laughing for decades. He also had a reputation as a drinker, both on and off the screen. He always wore a specially made vest with pockets that held small bottles filled with martinis. I invited him over to have dinner with Gracie and me one night, and when he came into my bar, I had the gin, vermouth, olives, and ice lined up for him. He went to the door, removed his vest, and hollered to his chauffeur. Chauffeur? Chauffeur. "Clarence, my good man, you may take this vest. I'm getting my libations from another source." In his early drinking days, he went to his doctor for a checkup.
Nice.
And the doctor told him that if he didn't give up drinking, he would have only 6 months to live. 20 years later, still drinking heavily, he went to another doctor at the urging of all his friends. This doctor told him that if he didn't give up drinking, he would only have 6 months to live. "You must be a very good doctor," Fields told him. 20 years ago, another doctor made the same prediction. W.C. Fields and I were good friends.
That was the joke. That was definitely a joke.
That was a joke.
Okay.
That's the end?
For all of you guys who didn't get
No,
it.
it wasn't the end. It was just the
W.C.
middle
Fields
joke.
and I were good friends until this great comedian passed away. But we didn't actually meet until Gracie and I came out to Hollywood to make our first film for Paramount.
Right.
It was called International House. And in the movie, Gracie and Fields did a scene in which she played a waitress. She had the last line in the scene and then left, leaving Fields sitting there. Fields wanted to finish the scene with a funny line or a piece of business, but nobody could suggest anything that seemed to work. Then I had an idea. "Look," I suggested.
Yeah, this is showbiz.
"You've got a cup of coffee, a
This is
glass of
showbiz.
water, and a martini on the table.
This is showbiz.
As soon as Gracie leaves, why don't you drop 2 cubes of sugar in the water, stir the coffee, and drink the martini?" Fields stared at me for a minute or two, and then said in that peculiar drawl of his, "What did he sound like?" All right. This is the first time I've ever liked a straight man.
This is
Nice.
like a straight man.
Yeah, say it like him.
Nice. Was that the end of it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's pretty funny.
Pretty good.
What was the part about he had all the glasses and the martinis?
There was a couple. Okay.
Oh,
So,
the doctors. That reminded me of the he goes to the doctor. There's a Willie Nelson song where he says, "There's more old drunks than there are old doctors."
nice.
It's pretty funny.
Pretty good. But I don't get it. You got a cup of coffee, a glass of water, and a
It's
martini.
just funny.
So you just do the wrong stuff to the drinks. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Put cubes of sugar in the water, stir the
Yeah.
coffee, and drink the martini. Nice.
It's funny.
Pretty good. It is funny.
That's
just
showbiz.
trying to understand how funny it truly is.
Classically funny.
That's George.
You're not allowed to say it's not funny.
Traditionally funny.
Do you want to do one? Do you want to go back in the dictionary?
No, we gotta do some
I'm
tales.
gonna do one more.
Yeah, the Indian
what about this NASCAR book?
That's more of another warm up book. Like
Okay.
now, this is a warm up book.
This is a warm up.
That's the
Yeah,
warm
it's
up
a
book.
joke.
For
It's
this.
pretty much a joke book.
None of them are long.
Right.
Right. We were gonna do one of these. Do you want to do the Western one or the Indian one?
The Western.
Okay. So we got this book. It's called The Legends and Tales of the American West. Edited, told, and retold by Richard Erdoes, Pantheon Fairy Tale and Folklore Library. This is what the Grand Rapids Press said. These well-told tales add an essential, almost holographic perspective to our early history, Richard Erdos has indeed captured the American spirit and made it available to all of us.
Wow.
So this is the American spirit, and it's available to all of us.
Go then.
Gorby.
What do we got?
You got
Which
some
ones did
short
you did some?
stories. Yeah, the ones that I put there on the side, I think. Or maybe I just did the Indian one.
Yeah, you did a lot of ones that have engine in them. The word engine.
That wasn't on purpose. That
Which I was probably... A lot of the slur ones. Oh yeah, I didn't apologize yet. On the last one you listened to, I said that one thing a lot. I didn't know that was a slur. I'm sorry. I looked it up later. It's really bad. I'm sorry.
No. Can you write it down?
No.
What was it?
You'd have to remember.
Talk about it. I wasn't
We
there.
tried to look it up in the dictionary, and it wasn't in the dictionary. And I went, oh, yeah, it's probably really bad then.
Oh, okay.
And then I looked it up. It was in Spanish, and it means a gay guy.
Cool that I wasn't there for that.
Yeah. But which ones did you want? What was your vision on any of these, Zane?
I'm not sure. I just stored the ones I thought. I didn't know that all of the ones I picked said that in that.
They don't all. I was one of them's just so short.
That's probably a good one to start with. Probably.
Okay. We were just doing so many short ones, so I was trying to get into more long.
Okay, we could do. Whichever,
Okay.
We could jump around.
This one's called Davy Crockett on the Stumps. Conrad's gonna do it.
What?
It's so short.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
I don't want to do a short one. I want to do a long one.
We can do a different. We should. Yeah.
I want to do a long one.
Okay. Friends, fellow citizens, brothers and sisters, on this first Tuesday previous to next Saturday, you will be called on to perform one of the most important duties that belong to free white folks, that are a fact. On that day, you will be called upon to elect.
So I guess this is like a
members-
speech.
Yeah, he's on the stump. He's talking on a stump. You will be called upon to elect your members of the Senate and House of Representatives and the Congress of the United States, and feeling that in times of great political commotion like these, it becomes you to be well respected. It becomes you to be well respected. All right, he's talking weird. I feel no hesitation in offering myself as a candidate to represent such a high-minded and magnanimous white set. All right, man.
All right. I didn't know I was gonna pick all the racist ones when I picked randomly based.
Okay,
on
this one isn't even a story. Did you kind of try to read it a little bit and make sure it was a story?
You could pick a.
I go into it
one,
blind because I thought you vetted it.
I didn't look for a long. He said do it really quickly. He passed me the book and said do this one really quickly. Don't even think about this one. That's what Clarkson said before.
Yeah,
what the hell,
so
man?
bad though.
So you must have something backlogged or whatever. We can do the other.
I did it.
I haven't looked at it. We can do another one. You didn't finish it.
How could I have done
No,
that bad?
I just did it. So
I didn't mean you. I meant Zane.
okay.
Sorry. Also, I'm joking, and you didn't actually do it bad. Did you want to finish it? Is it going to
No.
be funny at the end?
No,
Maybe it
no.
was funny at
I
the
didn't
end.
read it. I didn't read ahead.
Okay.
it's harder to tell. These are just legends and tales.
Yeah,
Right.
it's just like a guy. It's David Crockett saying to be good. A good.
Well, it was like in a big David Crockett section where you have a lot of David Crockett stuff, and that was like,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
okay, this is when he's a politician.
You gotta be a good white
All right,
voter.
Zane's gonna read "The Engine Is Dead" or whatever.
All right.
Yeah, just make Zane say all the racist ones.
Well,
They're all that though.
They're all that, it turns out. Not, okay. Once I was setting traps in the Yellowstone country when I was
Don't do that.
treed by a pack of tarnally hungry timber wolves. To save myself, I shinned up a tall tree, the varmints below me making a devilish racket, howling, growling, yawping, looking up at me, waiting for this child to come down to be made a meat of. To be made a meat of.
A child? What's happening?
This guy climbed up a tree because there's these varmints down there that are trying for him to come down from this tree to be made a meat of, which I think means that they're gonna.
Is he threatening them or are they threatening him?
I think they're he shinnied up a tall tree. To save myself, I shinnied up a tall tree.
Okay.
And then they're below. They're making racket. They're howling. They're growling. They're at the bottom of the tree. Wall. Okay, so I just realized all of these. The way he writes is crazy. Wall, W-A-A-L, comma, Wall, I warn't in no mood to be wolf meat and just set thar on the topmost branch waiting for the cussy critters to go away. Well, after about 2 hours, they gave up and vamoosed, which I think means they left.
Vamoosed.
Yeah. I warn't wrought to see 'em go, and was just about to climb down when the whole damn peck of 'em came back, snarling and yapping and barking as before. Well, I says to myself, I'll just set up here a spell longer till the varmints get tired of the game, but I hadn't learned yet how savvy them Yellowstone wolves can be, 'cause the dratted critters had brung with them just about the most humongous beaver ever to chaw my tree down. Okay,
Whoa.
Now I get it. I like where this one's going.
So
'cause
they're
there's
all
already
teaming up.
most of the characters in this one are animals, so I really get this one already. And yeah, they got a beaver to cut down the tree.
What's the first varmints? They're just varmints.
Wolves? They're wolves. He said that they're
I missed
Yellowstone
that.
wolves.
I
Well, he
missed that.
said it later. He said varmints, and then he called them wolves.
They're wolves.
Just
Okay,
now,
so
yeah.
there's wolves, and they're
Wolves
teaming
are
up with the
varmints.
beavers.
Yeah,
They
these
teamed up
savvy-
with the beavers,
savvy
and the guy's
wolves.
still in the tree.
and he's in the tree.
He's stuck in the tree.
Yeah. Okay, so when I see that beaver, I don't mind telling you, I got scared.
You got what?
I got scared. SKEERED.
You got scared?
I got scared. And with good reason, for the concerned thing started right away to chomp and chew and gnaw away at the trunk. And he wouldn't slothful either. That dad-burned beaver gone gnawing that one with a rare... I'm talking like Boomhauer.
You okay?
That dad-burned gone...
Be a
Yeah,
bad
we're
story
looking
to
at
be
the
reading.
words. Zane is. That's not what the words say.
Yeah, the
Zane
words
is
are
just.
normal. There's
Be a horrible story to be reading
Yes.
while you're having a stroke.
God darn Zane.
That
Sorry.
dad-burned beaver wore gnawing with a rare
Word
fury,
gnawing.
as if he know that I had his dead pappy's plue in my possible
That
bag.
dirt bag bing bong.
Hang me up for bear meat if he didn't chomp plumb through the
Hang me
trunk.
up and chomp
Yeah,
me. plumb.
RFK was hanging up for bear.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Back on the bear.
He's sort of a backwoodsman.
Hang me up for bear meat if he didn't
Hyper.
chomp plumb through the trunk.
Hyper,
In less than 3
topical.
minutes. In less than 3 minutes. Down the tree comes
Couple
the
weeks
child.
ago, too.
Down the tree comes this child. Traps, possible branches, the whole shebang. The whole pack of wolves were pawing on me in a second.
Oh my god.
It's a sad story, gentlemen. For the varmints ripped me apart into bite-sized chunks, and if you'll pardon the pun, wolfed me down, leaving nary a bone.
How are you telling the story then?
Well, here's the thing. As to the weather, well, he hasn't talked about that yet, actually. As to the weather, gents, in winter it's so cold down in Oot country that the hump meat freezes in your stomach, and the Bedouins. No, it says Boudins inside. Boudins. What's that one?
Boudin.
The boudins inside your bowels turn to ice.
Boudin is a sausage. It's like you fill it with rice and blood.
Oh, that's
It's
good.
for Cajun people. But
That's-
it looks like your intestines.
Have you had
And
it?
it's made out of intestines. Yeah.
Kinda
It's
gross.
fake. It's
You've
fine.
had it?
It's just weird rice. It's weird meat rice with blood in it.
Sausage, yeah.
Yeah.
Strange sausage.
That sounds pretty good.
All right.
There are some folks had to wait
Not
until
halal.
spring to go to the.
Haram.
It's pig.
It's
That's
pi-
some folks
oh
have to
yeah,
wait until
it's
spring
pig
to go to
blood.
the. It's not.
It's
meat
like
of
the
turkey?
pig's intestine. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the grossest parts of a pig.
It's like the
Alright.
butt of a pig. They turn the butt of a pig inside out.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And fill it with rice.
fill it with rice and blood.
Well,
and we eat that.
yeah. So I guess he did get eaten in that.
Yeah,
story,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
What about the engines?
Well, I'm not there yet. There's more
Okay.
to the story. So as to the weather, in winter so cold down in Oot country that the hump meat freezes, blah blah blah.
Ute.
There's some Oot. There's
Utah.
some Utah. There some folks had to wait until spring to go to the privy and ease their intestines. If there was a privy, which
That's a toilet.
naturally there was not. Yeah.
Naturally,
There wasn't a privy, but you know. While in February of 1830, it snowed down there for 70 days without stopping, and the snow piled up 70 feet high, and all the buffalers in the valleys froze to death and were buried under the snow. Were buried under the snow, but spelled W-A-R. Were buried under the snow.
buried.
When spring came, all I had to do was to tumble him into the Great Salt Lake, and I had pickled buffer enough for myself and for the whole fur brigade. Okay, wait. All I had to do were to tumble him into the Great Salt Lake, and I had pickled buffer enough for myself and the
Wait, is
whole
this
fur
Paul
brigade
Bunyan?
for years.
Is Paul Bunyan telling the story? What section are we in?
This is,
Are we in the Paul Bunyan?
no,
What,
is
he's
there
just
a
rolling
section
him into
in
the
this?
Salt
I don't
Lake?
know what any of this, I don't know.
There's
The
different
pickled
sections.
buffalo. You asked me about the tightest spot this child found himself in. As far as the Red Devils are concerned, I'll give it to you straight. I war in Blackfoot country. Them Blackfeet don't shine for me, and the feeling is reciprocated. So this sounds like we're about
I'm
to get
racist
into
to them, they're racist to me.
We're about to get into the racist stuff. About 1838, after the last big rendezvous at Piers Hole, I was jumped by 6 of them there we go, red fiends. They wore on horseback.
Red friends.
Red friends. Oh, them red friends.
They're red friends.
Oh, my little red friends.
These aren't red friends.
They wore on
red
horseback, and so was I. This hoss had only one of them newfangled colts to fight with. A 6-shot goo-goo.
What?
No way. A 6-shot goo-ga. It's
Goo-ga, yeah.
Well, I start blazing at them, and with every shot, I killed one of them varmints. 5 in all, but that was still one of them left. So he just calls a lot of things varmints.
Everybody's
It's pretty
a varmint.
loose.
Animals is varmint.
Critter.
Yeah, and these engines.
Guys,
He says, we was nearing the edge of a deep and wide gorge, and a fall to the bottom meant certain death. It's almost teaching you how to speak like this. If you just start really pronouncing it how they want you to pronounce it.
How to lose your
Certain death.
We do a thing where we go to India and we're
And you
teaching
teach
them.
them
We're
how to
just
speak
making them
with
read
Southern
this, and they're like,
accents.
"Hey, how can I help you with your cell phone plan?" Hey, my name is Jeff. I'm from Daytona.
I turned my hot sudden at the engine was upon me. We both fired at once, and both horses were killed. We now engaged in a hand-to-hand fight with bow and knives. He was a powerful engine, toss I'd ever seed. It was a long, desperate scrape. One moment I had the best of him, and the next the infernal cuss had the upper hand. It went on, knife, tooth, and claw. You asked me, stranger, how it came out? Badly. Very badly. The engine killed me.
Hell yeah.
And the title of that one is The Engine Killed Me Dead.
Kill me dead, dang.
See, it was pretty good. Even
That was
though
great,
They didn't
yeah,
even
yeah.
say it that many times, really. They only said it at the end as a punchline.
Yeah.
Which is where your slurs are supposed to
find out
go when you tell
Where
a
slurs
story.
belong.
At the end of a story and in the title.
137. I'm trying to figure out the sections. 137 is mountain men. We're in the mountain men
That
section.
seems like a pretty good section.
Yeah.
Fancy myself a mountain man.
Wouldn't want to be on
man.
the prairie.
We
Not a lot
got.
going
Oh yeah.
And that's just the way we like it.
Yeah. Should I do Heaven According to Old Gabe?
The one right after, I was looking at
Yeah.
that. It looks good.
All right. Is that a hell? Oh, is there a hell? Is there heaven? This hoss don't know. Howsomever, if this pa's child had his wish, I'd make ye a proper heaven. Why? Not one of them state fictions heavens where folks sit on clouds in their nightshirts a playing harps. That kind of heaven ain't the holler tree for this beaver nohow. It don't shine. This child's heaven is like Brown's Hole, the Popo Ag, and the Bayou Salade, all rolled into one at the rendezvous time. Why? I don't know what why is.
Wow.
W-A-J-H
Wow.
Exclamation point.
It's like
It's been here
Waluigi.
twice. It's like,
a
yeah, like
Waluigi
Wario
noise.
does.
Wario
Why?
noise.
Why? Why?
I like wild, what he was saying earlier in the other one. Wow. Really good exclamation.
Dang. All right. I guess I'm old Gabe. I don't know if I'm old. This is Heaven According to Old Gabe.
Yeah.
This child's heaven is akin to a valley with grass ass high, green as em rouse, with a river plumb across and its water pure aguardente for the fellers to dip their 10 cups into it again and again and be joyful. And no matter how much they swaller, that old touse never quits a flowing. And close by there's a mountain nigh upon a mile high, and sculpt me if it ain't up totally a twist of backer and it ain't gets smaller, and the pilgrims can have as many chaws as they want in all eternity. Why? What is the why? Does anybody want to try to hit the old game? It's pretty challenging.
Yeah, sure.
tough.
Try, or just at least get to a why. Let me hear your interpretation of the why.
Yeah.
You got to really hit it hard with a voice.
And the bufflers?
Yeah, the Buffler Nuff.
It's at the top. Yeah.
He said Bufflers earlier too. I don't know what that meant. He said Buffler Nuff.
All right.
I don't even remember saying that.
I said
it's like,
one.
oh yeah, you were saying.
Yeah, I said Buffler Nuff.
Some of the words I was saying, I was like, I can't process what this is, but I bet if you're listening, you can kind of tell.
Yeah, it's good to just shut off and just kind of read the letters. All right. And bufflers thar by the thousands. And doggone, no matter how many of them you shoots down, the herd's never getting less.
Whew.
And soon as one is down, thar's another coming up. We like by Ned. And every one of them fellers has his Jack Hawkin Fusey. And they all shoot plumb center. Whoopee! Thar's fun, everlasting running meat. And no one's ever hungry, but every pilgrim has his meat bag full. Nothing but fat cow and tender buffler tongues and sweet roasted boudins to tickle a man's ribs.
Boudin comes up again.
There's more Boudin. Yeah.
I didn't think there would be double Boudin mentions in the Western story.
That's why I thought I had read something that you had already read.
No, he
It's
uses
just-
a lot of the same words.
They just love bufflers and Boudins.
There's never any hard doings.
I think the Bufflers might be related to people who hunt buffalo. I can't figure it out. There's never any hard doings, and beaver hats never go out of style. And there's beaver aplenty fighting each other for a chance to get themselves trapped, and it's $10 a plew. Olden or kitten, prime plews all.
Can I give you a direction?
Yeah.
It's like him describing the best thing ever.
Oh,
It's him just trying to describe
No matter how many
the
of the
coolest
critters you
shit
trap.
ever.
There's Alice Moore awaiting that turn. And alongside that Tangle Leg River, there's teepees far as the eye can see, full of squaws waiting on the mountain. Men's pleasure wontons like Minx, Cheyenne, and Sioux, Apache, and Ute.
Shit.
All plump and pretty, with shiny greased faces. A cooking and a beating and a tanning with that loving look in their eyes. Whoopee!
Nobody has ever said whoopee.
I didn't realize it. Whoopee! They're virgins. All of them. And hang me up fur bear meat if they're not turning back into virgins again and again.
Wow. This is sort of Muslim.
Yeah. Order every set to hurrah. And a feller gets plumb tired of all these squaws. There's them Mexican senoritas. Yes! Hey, bonita, mi corazón. Let you on me fandango. Okay, that's him hitting on her. I tell you, old pard.
He's speaking Spanish?
Yeah, he said this little thing.
fandango?
He says, hey, bonita, mi corazón. Let's you and me fandango. I tell you, old pard, that's heaven for sure.
Hey,
Wag.
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 I can't.
You did it
parse
like
the
Scottish.
Wag.
Wag.
Wag. Okay, you can keep going. There's another. And there's a rendezvous. There's a rendezvous. He's pretty. And now I get one.
And every day there's a rendezvous, making all other rendezvous point to look like Sunday school doings. Whoopee! Nigh upon 1,000 beaver men, mountain men, pilgrims, bushways, traders, mangeurs de lard, Injun squaws and squaw men, hosses, mules, dogs, all a yelling, singing, barking, neighing, hollering, screeching like the devils. The fellers all in their finest beaded and quilling outfits, and squaws and all their foofara. I tell ye, no better sight for sore eyes. Enfant de garce, as the frogs say. There's nothing too rich for my blood. Why? What is the why?
I want to hit another one. They're fun.
I can't. Yeah, I don't know.
Fun to decipher, but
Oh, this is a short one.
No, we're still
no,
on the
that's
same one.
This one looks good though. Damn good.
No,
Chill.
I know. I'm not.
Right.
I'm talking about this paragraph.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah.
Chill, fam. And everywhere, boys snapping stories. All right, I'm gonna start over.
And everywhere, boys swapping stories, taking horns of red uprising, chawing on their backer, sweet talking Injun gals, trading blues for gold and silver. There ain't no vide poaches. All are rich. They gamble, all honest games, not a card sharp among them. Not a card sharp among them?
Card sharp.
Card.
I know, but he's saying card sharp.
Yeah. No, I get it. I've just never heard
That's
of
his.
card.
That's his
card shark.
Right. I think it's also the
Same
accent.
thing.
Yeah, people. I mean, it's like I think it's just he's
Card
saying
sharp.
it wrong.
Yeah.
Ho boys, thar's the deck and here's the beaver. Who are set his hoss?
You doing a pirate?
All right.
Wow. Where'd you get to?
Bring it home.
Where'd you get to? Why? His house.
I was at right after Wah.
Some mountaineers gratify their dry papoose makers with squaw fever, are groping and a squeezing, making their slow-eyed partners squirm and giggle. Others take a shine to haggling over foofara or indulge in a game of Indian poker. But most, like this hoss, have a hankering for sports. I tell you, this coon loves to cut his wolf loose, by Ned. And that's what's the greatest sport? I tell you, is fighting. Us trappers love it. The Indians love it. The coureurs des boys love it. So we grabs our weapons and the bucks put on our war paint and at it we go. This hoss is a man killer. Never curried below his knees a two-legged earthquake and prime specimen of chain lightning. I tell you, stranger, this beaver's the champion eye gouger and higher lifter of the Rockies. Whoopee! So we lift top knots and whip out our butcher knives and wade in to deliver up to the Green River. So we cuts throats and shoot and stab and hack with tomahawks and arrows and pistols, but it's all friendly like and no hard feelings, just good fun, do you hear? Come evening, those who have gone under get up again. Eyeballs pop back into our sockets. Teeth sprout again.
Wow.
Sculpts
That's
grow
heaven.
back on bleeding skulls. This is like Valhalla. I don't know if you guys know what Valhalla is.
I get you.
Sort of a Valhalla. Trappers and Indians sit around the fire, smoke the pipe, take a swig of snakehead whiskey, and brag about our deeds. Come morning, all will start fighting again, wallowing in blood up to our armpits, amoosing themselves with manly sports. It shines, why? I tell you, stranger, out this house has chewed his last plug of backer. That's the kind of heaven he'd take a shine to. Not to a psalm-singing, hypocrite preacher man's paradise, but a real man's heaven. Wah.
Okay, so this might be interesting. I found a recipe for snakehead whiskey.
Snakehead whiskey. You just put snakehead in the whiskey.
That makes sense. That seems like it works out pretty well.
I have an idea. It's just called Cowboy Cookbook, and it's just stuff like that. It's
that's
called
good.
Snakehead whiskey, and it's just
You need 10 gallons of river water. You need red Spanish peppers, sugar,
how many
molasses.
snakes? How many snakes?
2 rattlesnake heads per barrel.
How many barrels?
I don't know how many barrels.
Up to you.
This is for 1 barrel, I guess. 1 gallon of alcohol, 1 pound plug, or black twist tobacco, black twist backer,
We love backer.
and then 1 pound of black sugar.
These
or
are really
molasses.
good. I looked through a bunch of other ones and I found some really. These are
You're gonna
sick.
hit one.
Yeah, we can hit one.
We'll hit one, and then
we'll
call the episode.
That's it.
Closer.
All right. This one's called "Shall We Have a Drop?"
A drop.
A drop.
Okay. Of whiskey or something.
Probably. That seems like it might be going in that direction.
Drop.
Two men were observed playing poker in Tombstone's luxurious birdcage saloon. On the stage, can girls threw their legs high up into the air, exposing waterfalls of rustling fro unmentionables.
Would you guys live in Tombstone or Dodge City?
Dodge City.
Tombstone.
While a Turkish odalisque straight from Brooklyn did the hoochie coochie, clad only in strapped silk pantaloons, riding like a rattlesnake about to give birth. The players paid them no mind. They took poker seriously and had Venus, the goddess of love, risen out of the ocean from foam before their eyes, floating in glorious nakedness on an iridescent seashell, they would not have honored her with a single glance. One of the two men was a stout, dandified fellow with a black goatee, dressed in a brown velour jacket with black cuffs over a brocaded vest. His silken cravat was fastened with a stick pin, whose diamond was just a trifle too large to be genuine. This magnificent jacket had suspiciously wide sleeves.
He's a card sharp.
He's a card sharp. The other gentleman was likewise fastidiously dressed, not as flamboyantly as the first, but in the best of taste.
Yard sharp. Yard sharp.
Kind of Jamaican. Kind of makes you can do pirate or
You should try to read this one like that. You should try to read this one like in the truth.
Oh, all right.
Zane's pranking you.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, we start the ante at $100.
I'm just gonna do Irish accent.
That was an Irish accent.
That was good.
That was
good
Irish.
Irish.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, smart.
You're telling me to do
Smart.
Jamaican,
The
but,
other gentleman was likewise
Irish.
fastidiously dressed, not as flamboyantly as the first, but in the best of taste, to wit, a well-tailored black. Do you guys want to hear all about what he was wearing? About a black...
Is it brocade?
It's a...
Is there more brocade?
Black broadcloth suit, a snow-white billied shirt, a black string tie. He was keen-eyed, long-legged individual, thin as a rail, with corn-colored hair and sweeping mustachios. This citizen, as could have been guessed by the description of his
Can I
person...
ask you to read it more like Maurice from Northern Exposure?
Oh, I could...
Because that's kind of what I was doing.
Yeah, I could slow it down.
I was just kind of acting like Maurice from Northern Exposure.
The citizen... as could have been guessed by the description of this person, was none other than the king of gambling men, also known as the dangerous dentist, namely Doc Holliday. Gamester, card sharp, dental surgeon, and notorious gunslinger.
I'm really into Doc Holliday.
He's
awesome.
sick.
He's coughing all the time.
Whoa, and he's a dental surgeon? That's
he
so
quit
cool.
because he's like too emo. And he just is like going around and trying to fight everyone so they'll kill him.
The king of gambling men.
And he loves gambling, yeah.
He seems cool, yeah. A lot of people talk about him.
He's big, yeah.
Shall we start the ante at $100, sir? So there's the stout man, and then there's Doc Holliday. There's this like stout guy who's
With
dressed a
his
little
gray
flamboyantly,
shirt, yeah.
who's his sleeves are a little wide, and then there's Doc Holliday. Shall we start the ante at $100, sir? Inquired the velvet cuffed gent, whose accent betrayed a hint of New Orleans Vicarre. You know how to pronounce it? Vieux space Carre. I feel like it was a pretty good job. Viacre.
View.
Okay. Suit yourself, agreed Doc, a slender cigarillo dangling from his lips.
A backwoods.
And then a backwoods hanging from his lip. And then he says, the sky's the limit, which is a cool thing to say at the poker table. They played for a while with varying success, Lady Luck frequently changing sides from one man to the other.
No.
To those watching the game, it was apparent that both gentlemen were most accomplished at cheating. One might say, made this a square game. So they're equally good at cheating.
They're both cheating.
Shall we have a drop? Doc interrupted the action. Poker needs brandy like a cock needs hens. I second the motion, said the goatee dandy. Let's liquor, garçon. A couple brandies, if you please.
Let's liquor.
The drinks arrived. Doc moved the flickering candle to one side, knocked down his snort at one gulp, and slammed the glass down upon the table, spilling a few drops of the good creature in.
Love to have some of that good creature.
Smoking that good creature.
We on that good creature. I really
delicious
should.
baby.
Smoking that good creature.
Oh, he's trying to not get crossfaded, though.
Praise Jah.
I really should refrain from both strong waters and the use of tobacco, he said offhandedly.
That's all he does, though.
But what is a gent to do in this god-forsaken desert? What indeed, but voila, here we are. That's the gay guy, the flamboyant,
the dandy.
stout and the guy, the dandy.
Who's cheating?
Well, they're both cheating.
Goatee dandy.
They're both cheating, but they're both equally good at cheating. I, out of sheer necessity, sighed Doc, to cure a pair of bad lungs, dry air is good for them.
Yeah, that's why he moved it to him.
So I didn't know. They continued to play, and from that moment on, Lady Luck was unashamedly on Doc's side. A small mountain of silver began to grow before the sometime dentist. Soon his opponent was out more than $1,000.
That's so much now.
Yeah, imagine it then. That's rent for you wouldn't know. You're
You could buy a house.
Yeah.
I still pay rent.
Nope.
It's a different word, but it's
a
the same exact
It's a
thing.
mortgage. Soon his opponent was out more than
Equity.
$1,000.
I do have equity.
The velvet cuffed one.
Immense equity.
The velvet cuffed one seemed momentarily sunk in thought as he contemplated his shrinking pile of gold. Losses sharpened his wits. He noticed that when dealing, a Doc held the cards lightly at the edges, manipulating them in such a way that they were reflected in a drop of brandy illuminated by candlelight.
Oh, he spilled that earlier.
Remember
He spilled the brandy
spilled the
earlier.
brandy? His eyes fixed on the drop. The eagle-eyed dentist could read every card reflected in it. The goateed fellow went for his gun then, but already Doc's gambler friend, a small ivory-handled derringer, was staring him in the face. He calls his gun the dangler.
My gambling
friend.
The dangler.
The dangler. Sir! Sputtered the goatee.
Trump's always doing that in stories. He always some guy comes in and goes, Sir! In Trump stories.
Sputtered the goatee, rising with whatever dignity he could muster. You are a low-down cheat. I thought I was dealing with a gentleman. So did I, stranger, was Doc's answer, until I saw that extra ace up your sleeve. Please keep your hand off that cannon. I assure you that I am much faster on the draw. You wouldn't have a chance. Don't look so sad. There's a multitude of green horns around here for you to recoup your trifling loss, which I say is but a small tutoring fee. Because he taught him something. Never take on a fellow who tell you that he won't play poker until he gets a drop. With that, I bid you adieu. I do you. Wow.
That was
guy
amazing.
sounds cool.
Doc Holliday?
Yeah.
Do you know about the gunfight at the OK Corral?
Dude.
He's there,
I'm
man.
in middle school again. You don't know about the gunfight at the Golden Corral?
No, this is pretty much every Western's either about Doc Holliday or Billy the Kid.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah, it had less of the voice in that one, but
Yeah.
it was still good.
That one was cool.
So those are the cowboy ones. We might go full cowboy mode soon.
Yeah,
Look out for
that.
going full cowboy mode.
Cowboy episode
Cowboy
incoming.
30 cowboy episodes.
30 cowboy episodes.
30 cowboy episodes incoming, so
Thank you.